Okay, today is all about the money manifestation blueprint. And there are 15 steps, but don't let that overwhelm you. Now, this money manifestation didn't arrive during a peak meditation experience or while I was feeling particularly super spiritual. But it happened during a normal Tuesday afternoon while I was reviewing my monthly expenses with my accountant. And that moment of reviewing my expenses revealed what the teachings were truly pointing towards all along. Because for years I immersed myself in this work completely, like daily meditations, mentally rehearsals, affirmations, you name it. Yet the reality that I was trying to create just felt out of reach. It remained out of reach until I discovered these 15 consciousness shifts that changed everything. And so this is a continuation of my step-by-step guide. That is like the practical way, but these are like boosts. Because have you ever felt like you're doing all the spiritual work, but are hitting an invisible ceiling when it comes to money or whatever, love, relationships, health? Maybe it feels like a missing piece between your meditation and the reality that you are looking to create as well. But because this is what's actually going to change everything. Like this video that I'm going to share is the complete framework that bridges spiritual practices with results that I can actually touch and experience in real life. And so it is a process that I documented and refined over the years to actually verify that it works consistently. And it's not like a one-time coincidence, because all of these consciousness shifts is what I still apply in my life or live in my life today. And so this goes beyond conventional manifestation approaches. So take some notes down, because this isn't about creating visualization techniques or visualizing harder or sending intentions into the universe, but it's about transitioning from someone seeking abundance to embodying the field where abundance is naturally expressed. Okay? Even when you are having conversations about money, considering new business opportunities, making everyday money decisions, you are doing it from this level of consciousness. So I'm excited. But before we dive in, let me be real with you. Because when I started, I was that guy who would, read about all the spiritual books, watch all the videos, and I could quote everything. Now, for me, what changed wasn't more information, but it was these 15 specific consciousness shifts that bridged my spiritual practice with real-world results. Do you want that? Well, pay attention, because I want to walk you through them real quick. Hey, what's up, my friend? Kevin here. Just a quick heads up for all the entrepreneurs and professionals watching this. If you have been feeling stuck, but you know you're capable of more, I've got a few spots open right now for my one-on-one mentorship. In this program, I'll personally guide you through my identity frequency mapping process to break through the patterns holding you back so you can create the results that you've been chasing. Whether that's more income, more freedom to spend time with your loved ones, or finally living the life that you've envisioned for so long. Now, I can only work with a handful of clients at a time to give you my full attention, and spots tend to actually go very quickly. So if you are interested in making the shift now, then please click on the link below this video, book a call, and let's see if we're a good fit to work together. Now back to the video. Now, step 1, transcending the personal self. So the very first step was transcending my personal self during meditation. Now, I used to sit there trying to manifest as me. The same me with all the worries and anxieties about money. Okay? The first time I truly experienced this state, transcending myself, was disorienting but liberating. There was no me trying to manifest money anymore, just consciousness itself. And from that space of consciousness itself, well, I could access possibilities that were completely invisible to my limited personal self. You following along? Now, this is literally prerequisite for manifestation. And I want to emphasize this a lot, because you have to, this is what becoming no body, no one, no thing, nowhere, in no time is. Okay? When you truly drop all of that, you enter a state of pure awareness. You're not a person trying to get money anymore. You are the field itself. Okay? This is not spiritual talk, this is not woo-woo, but it's literally the prerequisite for manifestation. That is step 1. Step 2, oh my God, it's our favorite. Heart coherence mastery. Oh my gosh, he's at it again with his heart coherence stuff. Well, that's the second step, right? Because mastering heart coherence is a gateway to non-local mind. What the hell is that? Well, I went beyond basic heart-focused breathing because I started using my heart as an actual intelligence system. By getting into coherence first, then asking my heart direct questions about my life. Ooh, that's cool, right? Get into coherence and ask your heart questions. You would be surprised by the answers. Because I was deciding once between two business opportunities. Like my brain was going in circles. So I got into heart coherence and simply asked, all right, man, my heart, I call it my heart, my man. Anyway, which path serves my highest good? The clarity wasn't a voice, but it was an immediate knowing that bypassed all the mental chatter. That is the power of your heart. Step 3, entering the void. Okay? This is a sacred void, the 0-point field where all potentials exist simultaneously. After heart coherence, I would meditate in complete emptiness. Okay? Sink into the void. Not effort my way through to the void, into complete emptiness. Not focusing on anything, not trying to create anything, just entering the void by focusing on the spaces between my thoughts. Expanding those spaces until thinking itself became optional. And I know you have experienced that in meditation as well, okay? We're just pretending that we don't know how to do it. So that is step 3, because when you truly enter this void state, there's a distinction between there's like a distinct sensation of falling or floating, and your body may feel like it's dissolving. And so the void is not empty. It's pregnant with all possibilities. And that's when true creation happens. Now, step 4 is embodying quantum time. Ooh, sounds fancy. Step 4 is embodying quantum time, which is collapsing linear time to access the eternal now. Yeah. I used to visualize abundance as something in my future, right? But as long as you're placing your manifestations in the future, guess where they stay? In the future, right? It's always ahead of you, never there. It's never just there, it's always ahead of you. But why not quantum leap into that reality, right? Instead of visualizing a future with more money, well, I would shift my awareness to the version of me that already had the $30,000. Not imagining it, but actually tuning into it as my current reality. So instead of that future pacing, bridge it to me right now. The first time when I really got this, there was this weird click. It's like, duh. Like my consciousness had literally shifted tracks. Suddenly, I wasn't wanting abundance anymore, but I was experiencing it as my present reality. Whew. Come on, guys, quantum leap. Quantum leap straight into your desired reality. Just choose. Step 5, resonance rather than intention. What is that? Well, step 5 was shifting from intention to resonance, moving beyond visualization into pure vibrational matching. Okay? Stay with me. It sounds complex, but it's simple. So I used to be specific with the universe, like I'll take $30,000 delivered through this way by a business opportunity, maybe a client giving me $30,000, and it has to be on this date. Like, come on. Like I was placing an order at a drive-thru. So I started practicing frequency bathing, like immersing myself in the pure feeling tone of abundance, not tied to any specific amount or source or date, just the vibration of it, the essence of it, the consciousness of it. And after one session of pure resonance, I got a call from an opportunity that I hadn't even been trying to pursue. I haven't even been trying to mentally rehearse or try to create it. Because resonance, the universe has way better navigation than we do. And I just had to trust it. I just had to get out of the way and, stop micromanaging it. All right. Step 6 is one of my favorites, divine surrender. Right? Or surrender. I'm just trying to be fancy here. Surrender, releasing personal will to universal intelligence. Right? See how it relates to that? That's right. This was hard because my old self was, a control freak. He became so conditioned to bro marketing. You got to do it this way. with business gurus telling him to control every situation in his business. You have to put more effort in life, right? Work hard. Stop sleeping because your competitor, he's been up since 2 years now, right? And I was conditioned to micromanage everything, and especially how the money would come to me. So I developed a surrender ritual before any manifestation work, or even afterwards, before and after. I would literally say, after I put my intention out there, I release how this will come to me. I release when this will come to me. I trust in your perfect unfolding. And honestly, when you do that, the relief is immediate. The relief is immediate. Like putting a heavy backpack down that you've been carrying for years. And now you're open to the money coming in ways that you could never plan through opportunities. Like, I didn't even know they existed. Okay? That is divine surrender. Step 7 is becoming the field itself. Like, becoming the field itself, well, you got to shift from creator to creation. Right? That's very, very subtle, but stay with me. For years, I saw myself as a separate self trying to create abundance. But the crazy shift came when I realized I wasn't a person trying to create abundance, but I was the field of abundance itself. Okay? I was not a person trying to create abundance, but I was the field of abundance itself, temporarily expressing as this human named Kevin. So, instead of affirming that I am abundant as a person, I would dissolve my sense of separate self completely and rest in awareness. Rest in awareness. Because if you rest in awareness, you are the field where abundance naturally expresses. It's just who you are. Okay? Because you transcended yourself. So when you truly become the field, there is no sense of lack because there's no separate self that needs anything. There's just the field expressing itself in infinite forms, money, and it's flowing through your life right now, moment after moment. Now, this is the same thing as step 5, okay? The void is synonyms with the field. Wait, did I get the right one? Sorry, to step 3. It's synonym with the field, okay? Next is living as your future self. Well, it's basically embodying the consciousness of abundance in everyday moments. That is how I live as my future self. So what do I mean by that? Well, I would spend each time every morning deeply connecting with the version of me who already had manifested this abundance. Okay? How did this version of me who already is in possession of $30,000 think? How do they make decisions? How do they carry themselves? How do they feel about themselves? Right? Well, that version of me thinks very, very highly of himself, but he also has respect for other people. Oh, and I remember getting invited to a networking event that cost $5,000. Now, my old self would be like, oh my God, damn, that's a lot of money for an event. But as my new self, I paused. Well, not my new self yet. I had to pause and be like, ooh, okay. Now I would ask, what would my future self do? Well, my future self wouldn't be thinking twice about investing in connections. So I went. And at that event, I met someone who later became a client worth over $12,000. But I didn't even go with the intention of finding that client. I went because that's what my future self would do. See where I'm going with this? Now, step 9, follow along with me, we're nearly done, is following divine synchronicity. There you go. I love to add divine in front of everything because it just sounds way better. Step 9 is following divine synchronicity, is recognizing and honoring the language of the field. What is the language of the field? Well, before I was always trying to figure everything out with my analytical mind, right? However, listen carefully. True manifestation often comes through pathways you can't possibly predict. What? If I don't think with my mind, it's coming through pathways that I can't predict? What are you talking about, mate? So, I began paying attention to coincidences, repeated patterns, unexpected meetings, random nudges, and I'm treating them all like the universe's GPS system, especially your body. Wow, you have no clue as to how much information your body is sending you in a moment-to-moment basis. We just need to cultivate a great relationship with it. Oh, one morning, I had an impulse to call an old friend, and I haven't spoken to them in years. And my analytical mind is like, that's weird. Why would you do that right now? But I followed that, and that call led to a collaboration that brought in $12,000 of the $30,000 manifestation. Okay? Follow those small nudges. Even if it's a nuisance, even if it's going to derail you from your routine. Okay, step 10 is integration of non-duality. What the heck is that? It sounds very, I don't know. Integration of non-duality. Now, this is a pretty big breakthrough. Because for years, I had been operating from the illusion that I was one thing and abundance was something else. And I needed to attract it. Okay? I'm one thing, abundance is something else. Come here. Now, I would sit in meditation and ask, what is experiencing this moment? What is aware of the thoughts? What is the nature of awareness in which all experiences arise? Non-duality. When you rest in this awareness, there is a profound recognition that you are not your separate self trying to manifest. Okay? Listen carefully, but you are the manifestation itself. There is no you and abundance. There's just this one reality expressing in infinite forms. Did you follow with that one? I'm gonna stand here. And then step 11 is maintaining coherence. Oh, here he is with his coherence again. Well, you have to maintain coherence between worlds. What do I mean by that? You're gonna remain in elevated states while engaging with 3D reality, not just in meditation. Meditation is practice for real life. So, maintaining coherence. This is where I kept falling down. I would access these elevated states in meditation, but the moment I would check my email hoping for a miracle, guess what? I'm back to my old self. Back to that raggedy old self. So, when I caught myself doing this, I identified the specific things that would actually bring my energy down. Well, what were they? Checking my emails obsessively, high stakes negotiations brought my energy down sometimes. And then when I would be experiencing these events in 3D reality, I would deliberately turn these practices for maintaining coherence. Whew. This is easier said than done, but that's where true mastery comes from. Now, before I go into a negotiation now, I would get into a coherent state first. Then I'd go into my coherent state while deliberately maintaining that coherent state regardless of what was happening during that negotiation. That is where the real mastery begins. And I don't know if you've ever been in a high stakes negotiation. It is intense. It's like a intense game of chess. But look, it's just a practice. After a few weeks, the very situations that used to trigger me into stress, or they trigger expansion instead, because my neural pathways were literally rewiring in real time. Now, step 12 is witnessing the unfolding. This is the fun one. It means observing manifestation without contaminating it with expectation. What does that mean? Well, after doing all of this inner work, I would get impatient and start looking for results, right? I would check my bank account, emails, multiple times per day, and I would analyze every interaction for signs of the universe. Are you following with that one? I would analyze every interaction and I'll be like, okay, is this person saying a synchronicity? So it means I'm detached from my creation. So I needed to be more conscious. And so after doing my meditations, I would completely release any attachment to how or when it would manifest. Okay? Sounds like divine surrender to me. Well, after you surrender it, you have to catch yourself, not wanting to check. So I would simply witness reality unfolding with a calm knowing that the process was already in motion. Okay? Witness the unfolding after you surrender. Because when you are truly witnessing without expectation, there is a beautiful sense of ease. You're not anxious, you're not impatient, because you know with absolute certainty it's already in motion. You've set it in motion and it's already unfolding perfectly. Sorry, I was pointing at the wrong one. Which leads us to step 13. Ooh, this is the best part. Receiving with grace. The sacred art of allowing abundance to flow through you. This might sound strange, but I actually had to learn how to receive. Well, not learn, remember how to receive. Because I promise you, when opportunities start appearing, well, for me, okay, when opportunities started to appear, I noticed a subtle resistance and resistance in myself. There was a feeling of unworthiness, a fear of what others might think. Now, listen to this. I had a belief that in order to receive something, I had to work hard for it, struggle for it. That I didn't believe that receiving comes easy. That is a shitty belief. Anyway, receiving should be easy, like how it naturally should be. Who conditioned us to believe in that? Anyway, this is one of the main things I work with my clients. When we clear this one big interference, oh my God, you open yourself to receiving what the universe wants to give you easily. Oh, like my client Micah, I'm working with her about getting the perfect acting gigs. We cleared her limitation to receiving. Guess what? She manifested a house. Check out I'll post it here. Okay? Now, you have to get deliberately good at receiving, and you gotta practice it. Not just with money, but receive compliments with ease. Receiving opportunities, even gifts. You gotta receive it with complete openness and grace, right? When someone offers to pay for your dinner, well, for my dinner, right, I would simply say, oh, thank you. But the old me was like, oh, come on, I insist, let me pay. Let me pay my share. When a client wants to pay me more than my rate, oh, thank you so much. I would receive it with gratitude instead of feeling like I needed to give more in return. Okay? Receive with grace. That's probably my favorite out of all this. Now, step 14. Okay, this is one of my favorites. Becoming the blessing. Whew. Transcending receiving to becoming the source of abundance for others. Damn. You are the blessing. Now, I want to tell you, as the $30,000 was coming into my life, I noticed a shift in my relationship to it. Like, okay, yes, I wasn't just grateful for receiving, but I was excited about how I could flow, how this money could flow through me, and I would use that money to bless others. You following? You are now becoming the blessing. So with every dollar that came in, I would consciously direct some portion of it outward, not from obligation, but from the joy of being a source of abundance to others, right? Whew, that is the consciousness of abundance. Don't you agree? Like, I gave so much to my parents for supporting me through the years that I was in debt, for gratitude for taking me back in their house when I was in debt. I began investing in other people's projects and dreams because when the universe opens the door for me, guess what I'm doing? I'm going to open the door and keep the door open for other people. Okay? Become the blessing of others. Because as I embodied being the source of abundance, as you embodied being the source of abundance, the manifestations don't stop. They accelerate. And so the more you allow abundance to flow through you onto others, oh my God, what a cycle. The more it increases in your own experience. And then the sexiest piece of all, daily integration. Well, with daily integration, there are 5 steps to this. First, you're going to begin with identity dissolution, okay? Transcending the personal self. Now, move into heart coherence after that to access your heart intelligence and enter the void, which is where all infinite possibilities exist. And then, you're going to embody quantum time, okay? Let's embody quantum time. And after that, you have to make sure that your manifestation exists now. After that, you're going to become resonance rather than intention and integrate the remaining steps into your daily life one by one. Okay? Now, I want to tell you that I'm not special. What I discovered was that the $30,000 wasn't something I created, but it was something that I allowed by shifting who I was being. Because the field responds to not what we want, but who we are. And so these 15 steps aren't technically steps for getting something, but they're pathways for becoming someone new. Okay? Now, which of these 15 steps resonate with you? Which one's your favorite? I'm curious. And leave them in the comment section below. And if this has helped you, please share it with someone who might need to hear this message as well. But other than that, let these boost your manifestation practices.